Good morning, wet shavers and podcast lovers everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put on your earbuds, and let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things in podcast form. Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday Morning Mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next Monday Morning Mailbag airs, or a piece of late-breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time-sensitive. And we'll also have some time to chit-chat and discuss a few other things like coffee, movies, and books. So thanks for tuning in for this inaugural flight of Second Cup, and I hope you subscribe to the podcast where you can also find the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning again, and thanks so much for joining me for Second Cup. As I described in the opening, this is a podcast that'll help us get caught up on some things that may have not made it into the Monday Morning Mailbag. Maybe the information arrived a little too late. Maybe it's an update also, some additional information. And that's what we have here. We've got some additional information about the Henson +++ aggressive razor from viewer Beth Jones. Now, the Henson +++ aggressive razor is a razor that a group of wet shavers asked Henson to build for them. They wanted a really aggressive Henson razor, and they approached Henson and asked if Henson would build this razor for them. And Henson said, sure. And this razor, I guess, extra pieces of it or extra razors that were made are available online at some online retailers. So Beth Jones wrote, this is becoming a really popular razor with the folks on the Double Edge Shave Den and others on YouTube. It was a special group buy back in the summer, and I'm amazed that there are still some of the razors available. I have not used yet. It was a special group buy back in the summer, and I'm amazed that there are still some of the razors available. I have not yet used mine, but judging by the reviews here on Facebook, I would say a lot of people who have used it really like it. And she goes on to say, I would guess that it is on par with the TI-22 Aggressive. Now, the TI-22 Aggressive is the Henson Grade 5 titanium razor. It comes in at double the weight of the Henson AL-13, just so you know. So she says, I would guess that it is on par with the TI-22 Aggressive. The description that Henson used to describe the TI-22 when they introduced it was, quote, you might actually be a Viking, unquote. That sounds like a very, very aggressive razor. She continues, it might be too aggressive for some wet shavers, though. I asked her about the Henson +++ aggressive because she has one, and I was interested in how it shaved, and she replied by saying, I will use it this week and give you my experience. I read one review that said, quote, it is aggressive, but also incredibly efficient, unquote. I'm guessing it might be on par with the Outlaw razor, either medium or mild. The Outlaw razor will accomplish in 2 passes what most razors accomplish in 3 passes. I have the Outlaw mild, and I can say that is correct. Well, there you go. That kind of gives you a little bit of a perspective on the Henson +++ aggressive. Now, here's a special announcement regarding this razor, which is why we're also including Beth Jones' comment on the razor, because I thanked her for all this information, but I also thanked her for a very, very generous donation. Beth Jones has sent, and it hasn't arrived yet, but it will be arriving within days. She has sent a Henson +++ aggressive razor to be given away in the 9,000 subscriber giveaway prize package. Yes, yeah, and this is the only place where I'm going to mention it here on the Second Cup podcast. I probably will hold this announcement for quite a while before I make the announcement on the Monday Morning Mailbag. But if you're listening to this podcast, you got a little inside baseball that Beth Jones very, very generously donating a Henson Plus aggressive razor to be given away in the 9,000 subscriber giveaway. Wow, that is really, really very, very generous. I thanked her and she wrote, "You are more than welcome. I'm just happy for you and to see your channel grow." Thank you very, very much, Beth. Very, very kind of you, very generous. So folks, if you're listening to this podcast this morning, well, you're the first to learn that this Henson Plus aggressive razor will be given away as a prize in the 9,000 subscriber giveaway. We're at about 8,100 plus subscribers right now, so we got another 800, 900 to go, and hopefully we'll be there before you know it. And that razor will be front and center. So thank you again very much, Beth Jones. Really do appreciate it. Viewer Tim Whitcup checked in, and he passed along this deal. The Twig razor from Leaf is on sale for $49. The regular price is $59. And Tim also adds, you get $5 off if you're a first-time buyer. Now that's pretty darn good. That's $15 off the regular price of $59. Not bad at all. I'll have a link below where you can find it. Now the Twig razor is a single-edge razor. It takes half double-edged blades. All you have to do is take a double-edged blade, snap it in half, take one half, and insert it into the Twig razor head, and you're good to go. Or you can buy half double-edged blades. They're available as well. But that's the Twig razor. Regular price $59, on sale for $49, an additional $5 off if you are a first-time buyer. I will have the link below. So thanks again to Tim Whitcup for passing along this deal. Viewer Jamie Horn sent along this message. Hey Mark, I just received Zuzu's Petals Aftershave and Soap from Wet the Face. Fantastic rose scents among others. Very floral and invigorating. I highly recommend this one. To any and all It's a Wonderful Life fans out there, as Sam Wainwright would say, hee-haw. Well, there you go, folks. If you're getting into the Christmas season spirit a little bit early, here's one that you might consider buying. This is from Wet the Face, Zuzu's Petals. Now, Jamie also sent an additional voice message, and he informed me that this was a release from last year. It looks like they're bringing it out early. A lot of retailers like to just kind of hit the ground running in the early fall season with a lot of their Christmas offerings, because before you know it, the Christmas season is here. And I remember in college, I had a friend in college. He would do all of his Christmas shopping in September. Right after Labor Day, he did all his Christmas shopping. It was all done. Everything was purchased, wrapped, and all set to go. And then all he had to do was wait for the big day. So he was really an early Christmas shopper. So if you're like that as well, check out Zuzu's Petals from Wet the Face. We'll have a link to it in the podcast description. Thanks again to viewer Jamie Horn. Viewer Bob LaRoe checked in with the following. Found this on Amazon. Looks like quite a bargain. Now, this is something that came in just a little too late for the new Shave Gear segment on the Monday Morning Mailbag, so I'm very happy to include it here on the Second Cup podcast. This is a bundle. It's a 4-pack of shaving soap with shaving bowl, shaving brush, and shaving cream. It comes from a company called Zenut. Zennutt. The shave soap's name is Full Light Tech. Fullight. That's the first word in the name, and Tech, Tech. That's the second word in the name. Full Light Tech. You get 4 2-ounce pucks of soap. 2 of them have the sweet orange scent, and the other 2 have a sandalwood scent. You also get a really nice synthetic shaving brush, and you get a small shaving bowl. It's not overly large. I don't know the exact size. It looks to be a little diminutive in size, but it looks like it would be very, very functional. The soap puck and the shaving bowl and the shaving brush all look like they could be very good for travel and also a good daily driver for the new wet shaver in the home shaving den. The price on this is $15.91. There is also a $5 coupon. I'm looking at the page right now that can be applied. So for a little over $10, you get 4 2-ounce shave soap pucks, a nice size shaving bowl, not overly large, not overly small from what I can see in the photo. I'm not exactly sure of the size, but hey, you know what? It might be very, very functional. Might be very, very good for travel. Let's just put it that way. And what looks to be a very good synthetic shaving brush. At least some of the reviews I have looked at said that they like the shaving brush. And also you get some shaving cream. This shaving cream is in sweet orange scent. So there you go. For $15.91, you get a nice shaving bundle, 2-ounce soap pucks, a small shaving bowl, a nice synthetic shaving brush, and some shaving cream. So thanks to Bob LaRoe for passing that along. Really do appreciate it, Bob. Viewer Rodney Ripplinger sent along this email, and this is in regards to the Parker 78R safety razor. This is a brand new razor that Parker introduced this year, and it really is creating a lot of buzz in the wet shaving community. I've done a review of it. I've also talked about it on the Monday Morning Mailbag. I love this razor. It really is terrific. And oh, by the way, before I forget, I have a comparison shave review coming up this Wednesday between the Parker 78R and the Parker 56R. So stay tuned for that. Anyhow, Rodney writes, "Hi, Mark. Do you ever think you don't have an effect? Well, you are wrong. You and a few others. These Parker things are flying off the shelves. Try and find a graphite plated one. Almost impossible. I did find them at the razor company for just slightly less money than what many others are charging. I saw one place that wanted $39.99 for any style 78R. So I've got one coming with a tube of Portuguese shave cream to get myself in the free shipping territory. The razor company are prompt shippers and only one state away, so maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Rodney." Hey, Rodney, I'm so glad you ordered one. These are terrific, terrific razors. And the reason why we're including this particular email in the Second Cup podcast is to let you know that if you're thinking about getting one of these razors, now is the time to get one because they are selling very, very quickly. So I'll have link to the Amazon page where you can get these. There are 3 different finishes. There's a graphite finish, a high luster chrome, and a satin chrome. And as of the time that I'm doing this podcast, Sunday evening, Amazon shows that these are in stock. So hopefully when you listen to this podcast and you get up to Amazon, they will still be in stock. That's my hope. So thanks very much for the heads up on that, Rodney. I really do appreciate it. And again, folks, they're available on Amazon and they're less than $26. So that's the other point here in going to Amazon, because that is a really, really good price point. And even though the demand is increasing, they have not raised the price as of this podcast being put together Sunday evening. Hey, Rodney, thanks again. Really do appreciate it. Viewer Mark Williams sent along this email Sunday afternoon, as a matter of fact, the day before Labor Day, which is why we're putting together this podcast Sunday evening. Again, this is something that missed the deadline for the Monday Morning Mailbag, and I wanted to include it in the Second Cup podcast because it is in regards to a sale that is taking place during Labor Day weekend. And today being Labor Day, this is your last shot to get it. So I hope you're listening to this podcast, and I hope you're able to get this deal. Mark wrote, "Hi, Mark. Hope the Labor Day holiday weekend finds you well. Just wanted to let you know I caught a Labor Day sale and was able to purchase the Rockwell T2. The Razor Company," now folks, the Razor Company is at www.therazorcompany.com. The Razor Company was running 10% off their discounted price, and I was able to grab it for $117 shipped. Not quite the Amazon Prime price, but not a bad price. Just wanted to get it out to you for the Monday Morning Mailbag new shaving gear segment. Cheers, Mark Williams. Mark, thank you very, very much. My schedule over the Labor Day weekend was such that I had to record the Monday Morning Mailbag just a little bit early, so this didn't quite make it. However, it's perfect for second cup, so thank you for still sending it along. Folks, it's Labor Day today. If you're looking for a Rockwell T2, here's a great deal right now where you can get one at the Razor Company, therazorcompany.com. The regular price is $150 for a Rockwell T2 adjustable razor. They have it marked down to $130 and then 10% off, which brings the price down to $117 shipped. Not a bad price at all. So thanks very much to Mark Williams for passing this along. Really do appreciate it. Folks, again, the Rockwell T2 adjustable razor. I have this. I've reviewed it. Check out my review on the YouTube channel. I really like it a lot. And the one thing that I like a lot about it is the fact that when you close those doors, because it's a twist to open adjustable razor, when you close those doors, you give it another 2 full turns and it locks everything in place. Those doors are locked in place, much like a vintage Gillette Slim or Gillette Fat Boy, where you give, after closing the doors, you give it another quarter turn to lock everything in place. 2 full turns locks everything in place in the Rockwell T2, and it really is a terrific, terrific razor. Adjust from 1 to 6, and I have found that 3, for me, is probably the upper limit. So if your beard and skin are a little more demanding, you might be dialing it up to 4 or 5, maybe even 6. But I really enjoyed the shaves with it, and I'm looking forward to some more shaves with it. One other point about it, the end tabs of the razor blade are enclosed in the razor head. So great heft, nice size handle, twist to open, adjust from 1 to 6, and 10% off of a discounted price at the Razor Company. Mark Williams, thanks very much for sending that along. Really do appreciate it. Viewer Mark Bagwell checked in. Now, you may recall Mark very generously sent along the European version of Brute Aftershave Splash. Absolutely fabulous. I think it's head and shoulders above the American version. It is much more refined, much more gentlemanly. It comes in a terrific looking glass bottle. It just is very, very elegant. I really like it a lot. It is terrific. And there is also an EDT available with it. Mark very, very kindly sent that along. We'll be talking about that in an upcoming Monday morning mailbag. He also acquired the EDT on his end. And I asked him, how do you use an EDT? There are different ways to use EDTs from what I understand. And I haven't used one in years and years and years and years. So I asked him about that. Anyhow, he wrote, I did receive my Brute EDT and it's really good. I agree. It's fantastic. He continues, I'm not really an EDT user, so it'll last, but it's a quality product. Yeah, I think mine's going to last as well because I'm not primarily an EDT user. However, if I can figure out the correct way to apply it, I'll probably use it more often because I do like the scent of the European Brute. Mark continues, nothing cheap about the European Brute. I'm happy with it and will recommend it to anyone who uses an EDT. You ask me how to apply. I saw where women will spray an EDT into the air and then walk into it. I might see how that goes. Now, funny you should mention that, Mark, because I believe that's the way a lot of the guys were doing it back during my college days. Again, it's been years and years and years since I've used an EDT. If anyone out there can confirm this application process, please send me an email, comment to this podcast. I really would appreciate it. And Mark also continues, I see where Brute also has the Oceans, Sport, and Musk in EDTs. Again, I'm not much of an EDT user, but I'll send the links in case you want to include for a show. Yes, thank you very much, Mark. I will have those links in the podcast description below, folks, in case you're interested in checking those out. Believe me, the European version of Brute is well worth it. I absolutely love it. The glass bottle is fantastic. I think there's something about that glass bottle that just keeps that formula a little more refined and it just has a little more elegance to it, more of a gentlemanly quality. It really is top shelf. And the European version of Brut is much more multi-layered than the American version, as I've mentioned in the past. And the EDT comes in a glass bottle with a spray applicator. It's fantastic. We'll be talking about that in the Monday Morning Mailbag to come, and I'll show it on camera. And it's terrific, and I'll have a link to it. Again, my sincere thanks to Mark Bagwell for sending that along and letting everyone know about it. Thanks so much for your support of the channel, Mark. I really, really do appreciate it. And thanks for checking in regarding the European version of Brut. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Without you, this microphone would be silent. So again, thank you very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that second cup.